I've been a cadet, a CTA. 2 years ago I was an FTO, and this last summer I was a COC at field training.
First question, what is field training?
Field training is an evaluation of a cadet's leadership skills to determine if they are qualified to go to the POC. So, just sneeze. So, we're looking at, can someone lead cadets? Can someone be in charge of GMC cadets in the future?
What goes into competing for an enrollment allocation?
Okay, there's a standard formula to compete for an enrollment allocation. 50% is your commander's ranking. 20% is your GPA, so that's why we're always hounding you about your GPA. 15% is the PFA, and 15% is your SAT equivalent score, so that could be an SAT for your math and verbal. It could also be an ACT equivalent score, or it can be your AFOQT equivalent score in the academic aptitude category, whichever one's higher is what you get.
Ma'am, how do we determine commander's ranking?
First, do we know you? That's what we think about. Your class is so huge. Have we heard of you? Are you volunteering for GMC week? Are you volunteering to lead PT? Are you volunteering for a cadet job? Or if you're not able to do any of those things, do you step up and volunteer to run a one-time organizational event? Are you putting yourself out there? Really, are you participating is the number one. We got to know who you are.
From an FTO perspective, what mistakes do cadets make the most?
Repeating mistakes is just the biggest one. If someone makes a mistake and then you yell at them for it and they go out and make it again, they're either not learning or they're too flustered under pressure and they can't kind of figure out what to do. Field training is a fake pressure environment. It's supposed to be a stressful environment. We're yelling at you. That's not leadership. Your FTOs and your CTAs for the beginning phase of each one are not leading you. We don't yell in the Air Force at people. They're providing you a stressful environment and they want you to lead you.
How is
for that.
How is the field training ranking determined, and do CTAs have to say as well?
So the FTO is the primary person. CTAs can give inputs, but CTAs cannot evaluate officially. So they do provide inputs, but it's going to be up to the FTO how much they listen to their CTA.
Good to go.
Okay. My name's Steven Stewart.
Okay. Cadet Major Baltimore, 2012, Max 5.
My name is Cadet Major Mearsman. I went to field training the summer of 2013. I went to field training. And I also served, it was 2012 I went to field training.
Cadet First Lieutenant Osmani, first name Sahar. I went to field training this past summer, 2013. I went to Max 2.
Cadet Second Lieutenant Martinez, went to field training 2013, Max 4, Juliet Flight.
I was Top Gun at field training. Let's get this going.
And I finished Top Gun.
I graduated as a Top Gun.
And I served as a CTA this last summer in 2013.
And I was a CTA over the summer.
Can you describe the first moment when you arrived at field training?
The first moment that I arrived at field training was actually pretty funny. Like I said, I was very prepared. I knew what was going to happen when you got off that bus, and I proactively was ready for that. I wasn't just reacting to what was going on. I knew what was going to happen, and I didn't freak out. I stayed calm, and I did exactly what I knew I was supposed to do, which was to follow orders.
It was rough. I remember when the first air horn came off, I grabbed the sheets and I pulled them over my head, and my whole body was shaking. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, the first couple of days kind of like were downers, but I had a lot of fun. It was what I expected and a little bit more than I expected. It exceeded my expectations.
But my first day as a GIF Tech CTA, being on the other side, I almost lost my voice that first one.
Did you ever feel down at times while at field training? If so, how did you push yourself back up?
Yeah, TD3 hit me hard. It was just,
right off the bat.
Yeah, TD3. It was because the first couple of days they are just trying to break you down. So TD3, I have never questioned what I'm doing in my entire life. TD3 that night, I sat there in my bed like, what the hell am I doing? Is this what I really want to do?
One thing that was really hard for me was not having my personal space, not having my time to myself. And I briefly remember sitting in bed. I couldn't even cry. I had no tears. But I sat there and I really questioned whether, the training that they bring, the intensity, really makes you question, do you have what it takes to succeed in this program?
And I was like a personal debate with myself. So once I just said, you know what, I want to do this. This is where I need to be. This is what I meant. This is where I'm meant to be. Everything got a lot easier. And I instead of just trying to tough it through. I just embraced the suck. And once I made that mental choice, I want to be here, and I just embraced the environment that I was in. Everything was a lot easier.
And that's when I really like reflected, and I was like, you know, I've never stepped back from a challenge. I've never said no. And I'm gonna push through. I'm gonna push through because I can prove it to myself that I can finish it.
So, sir, from a CTA's perspective, what repeated mistakes do cadets make the most during field training? What do you see often?
You'll see a lot of base mistakes like failure to greet, little things where they just get tripped up, and really the root problem, the root cause of I think a lot of mistakes is lack of confidence in themselves, or lack of trust in their wingman.
A lack of confidence, sounding off, sense of urgency, and standardization.
I think one of the biggest traps that a cadet might fall into is thinking that they need to be something that they're not. My biggest advice for a cadet heading into field training is, you know, come in with a positive attitude, come in willing to learn and be shaped, and come in as yourself and stay as yourself throughout the entire process. Don't ever try to be something that you're not, and own it. I mean, and really just try to make it a part of you. And I think if you do that, you're gonna have a much more positive experience at field training than trying to go in and fit a certain mold, if you will.
Will greeting be the same at field training, like how we greet after field training?
It's worse.
Okay, so you guys go to school, you know, you hardly see your instructors around, right? This is 24/7. I had a CTA behind me like 24/7. Once, like, I tried spinning around trying to greet him, see who it was, trying to greet him. He wouldn't let me see his face. I had to guess who it was, and if I guessed wrong, I got my ear, like, I got bigger than.
It's worse. I mean, because you have colonels all the way down to captains, plus your CTAs, you know, and they are always in your face. So you're just whipping those salutes out left and right, trying to just, you know, blah, 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 blah. When you're in the dining hall, the chow hall, waiting for food, they walk up and down, and you have to greet them over and over and over, even though they just went 10 feet out of the way. You know, that's how it is.
How is can you describe the experience as overall more physically or mentally demanding, 50-50?
Mentally. Definitely mentally demanding. I saw people who were out of shape. I personally went not in the greatest shape of my life, and it was much more of a mental push than it was a physical push, you know?
I would say it's more mentally than physically. We hardly did any PT. I want to say we did a good amount of PT, but it was more like, do I really want to do this? Like you're doing your sit-ups and your push-ups or whatever PT they're doing. It's like, do I really want to do this? And it's just like, oh my God, and you lose your motivation super quick out there.
How is their food? Is there anything close to Big Mac and fries at all?
No, there's no Big Mac surprise. The food's pretty good.
It's actually pretty good.
The food was really good.
Oh,
I liked it a
wow.
lot because you can gorge. I mean, so you can just stack it on. And when I'm here, I only eat like one meal a day. When I was there, I ate 3 meals a day, and I packed it on, dude. It was good. I felt that people put too much emphasis on things like D&C and things like warrior knowledge.
Or is it even important at all?
Your field training manual is extremely important. If you do not remember the little details, for example, playing one of the sports, in the heat of the moment, you'll forget those rules, and that's why it's important to memorize the field training manual absolutely as much as possible.
Field training manual test?
Definitely difficult, definitely needed for preparing, but absolutely 100% doable if you studied and read and just took your time and did the test correctly.
So you can say there's absolutely no excuse in failing that test. Right?
Absolutely no excuse.
So what type of mindset do cadets show up with, and what type of mindset should they show up with?
To throw terms out, a lot of people show up with a mentality that rank is everything. That if I'm not Top Gun or a DG or special performer, I'm dishonoring my detachment. So you have those those DG hunters that really trip out about their rank, and I see that comes off like obviously.
I think what I learned really quick was I went in with the wrong mindset. I went in there like, okay, you know, I need to be Top Gun. I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna wreck this. You know, and I got there and I was like, you know, this attitude isn't working. The first day, my FTO tore me up. You know, what are you doing? You need to freaking change your attitude. And I was like, okay. So I'm here to learn. Teach me. And once I made that switch, life was easy, man. It was a goal. I was like, you know, if I was gonna go there, I want to be Top Gun, but I'm not gonna I'm not going to put the guy down next to me to get it. You know, I'm not going to let him fail so that I can succeed.
So, sir, what separates a top 30 cadet from a bottom 30 cadet, and what is the worst thing a cadet can do to become a bottom 30 cadet?
Attitude. I think attitude is what really separates it. And going back to the idea of putting your wingman before yourself, as you go through field training, it gets easier and easier to actually, from the beginning through the end, it's very easy to curl in on yourself and just worry about your own needs, and not have an others-minded attitude. And that affects not only your game with your flight, but your evaluators notice that. That does stand out when you're not contributing to the flight as a whole, because those individuals who are obviously positive attitude, who genuinely care about their flight, they're noticed almost immediately. They really stand out.
Yes. Is it possible to survive? Yes. If you want to perform and challenge yourself and, you know, get something out of your field training experience, absolutely not. If you are a quiet cadet, your flight will resent you. You will not grow as a leader. You will not get the experience you need out of field training.
Those that really don't care, that just go through the motions, and that makes it really easy for a CTA and FTO to rank them on the lowest part of the spectrum. But at the same time, I have some really genuine good cadets most of the time. They come in there understanding the principles of teamwork, ready to learn, and I respect that, and that's what gets them ranked high. And that's exactly what they should do. Okay.
Sir, how good was Detachment 075 in preparing us for field training, and how are the other cadets in regards to their performance?
We have, no kidding, one of the best field training preparations in the country.
You guys are already ahead of the curve. Coming from our det, you guys are so far ahead of the curve.
I've seen cadets from all over the country and what they bring to the table from their detachment. And Det 075 does such a great job of teaching a well-rounded material without giving away too many things for the field training curriculum. And so by the time you leave FTP, by the time you go in, you will have all the tools you need to succeed. And hopefully the confidence to adapt to the things that you're not ready for, because that's what field training is all about, is adapting to the things that you're not ready for.
It was good. Our instructors did everything they can. I mean, there's only so much you can teach from the FTM, but a lot of it is intrinsically, intrinsic motivation is what's going to get you the Top Gun spot. It's a lot of how you prepare and your sort of mindset going into it. You know, a lot of people go in there and they freak out. You know, I had this one kid who would cry because he was freaking out so much because I have to be Top Gun, I have to be Top Gun. I was like, dude, relax. You know,
It's a process.
exactly. We're there to learn. We're there to be developed and shaped into future officers. That's the goal. You know, the rank, who cares about the rank, man? Take care of your people. Do stuff behind the scenes when no one is watching. And know your stuff.
Definitely your self-motivation. Find that internal motivation that drives you.
Wingmanship, followership.
Have discipline. Practice now, have discipline. Discipline will make your life a lot easier.
It's about the inherent skills of being a leader and taking care of your people.
Putting the needs of your flight before yourself is definitely going to be the key to success in field training.
Work smart, not hard. Captain Russell tells people that all the time, but work smart, not hard. Find the simple solution. You don't need to work 8 hours to get a job done. We can get it done in 1 hour. You know, you don't need to go all the way around, you know, in a snake to just go from A to B. Just find the simple solution. That's the biggest thing. Make it simple. Keep it simple.
Have fun. Like, I know you guys think about it now. It's hard to have fun out there because it's field training. It's like, you guys are thinking, I know because you guys haven't experienced it, but you guys are thinking, you know, Full Metal Jacket and like what you see in the movies.
You have to be positive. You have to find good things that happen at field training. You have to find ways to be positive about things. If you're complaining about the 3 hours that you have of FTP every week at Lead Lab, there's something wrong, because you're going to be stuck in a 24/7 world of field training preparation times 10 with the intensity. You have to find things to be positive about and to challenge yourself.
Because you said it's all mental.
Very, very mental.